Hey, hello. We'll talk about that later, Patrick. But first say hello to the world. Hello everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in to Friday Ketchup. And it is a Good Friday Ketchup today. Not only because it's Good Friday, but also because we have Patrick Swartz here. And Patrick is a very, very special SUSE colleague. And Patrick, can you introduce yourself, please, to the Friday Ketchup audience?
Well, first of all, thank you, Emil, for inviting me to your Friday Ketchup show. I've been watching them, and it's been fun to see all the different colleagues and others come along on your show. It's just a blast to see a way to get to know people that we may never get to meet in person. So thank you for doing these. But about me, I just hit my 3-year mark with SUSE as an employee. But as you know, I was a long-time SUSE advocate even before I came to SUSE.
Yeah, you were.
The first time I think we met was at the 2016 SUSECon in D.C., I think.
In Washington, D.C., correct. Yeah, during the elections when Trump was chosen.
Yes.
Actually, now you say that actually. Normally I don't talk about politics, but that was actually one of the very interesting conversations I had with you and your daughter who was there as well about people choosing Trump or choosing, at that time it was Hillary Clinton. And it was so interesting for me to hear point of view from American people on that. So you really broadened my my horizon there. So 2016 Washington. Wow. Okay, and in that 3 year with SUSE, you have done quite some special things as well. Can you tell the Friday Ketchup a little bit about the initiative you did a couple of years ago and what you're going to do now again?
In 2019, my family and I went to Gambela, Ethiopia, to help a struggling college. The last step they needed to become certified was to have a small computer lab. And with that, I took over a project of 10 Raspberry Pis, set up a small network for them with using OpenSUSE and a project called Kiwix, and allowed them to then become, accredited through the Ethiopian government. And so that was a project we started, in 2019. My wife and sons went back again later that year to expand it to 20 Raspberry Pis. And coming up this year, it's a 2-part event this year. That my wife and I and sons are going back. The first part, of course, is to work on the lab, to do phase 3 of that lab, expand it again, but move it to a new location. A lot of exciting stuff going on.
So what you're going to do now is make it bigger again, so more Raspberry Pis?
For that lab, we're going to make it bigger. We're going to move it to a location that has better power.
Okay.
The original location only had solar panels. Which is one of the reasons we chose the Raspberry Pi for their, low power usage. So we're going to do that. And then what you have on the screen is the other part of my trip this time. I get to be, I was blessed to be part of the first ever Ethiopian Linux Fest, or Linux event, with the Living Open Source Foundation. When they found out that I was going to be in Ethiopia for the Gambela University lab, they asked if they could arrange a time that we could do a training in Addis Ababa. And so it worked out. The timing worked. The Addis Ababa Science and Technology University was gracious enough to host the event for us. So it's going to be a great event. So if any of the listeners are in Ethiopia or can get to Ethiopia during that week, it's a free event for Linux training. We'll be concentrating mostly on the Linux Foundation certification, but I'll also be using OpenSUSE and SLES and talking about the projects and solutions that SUSE can provide to the local Ethiopian governments and Ethiopian people.
All right. Wow, sounds really cool. Well, as you know, I am responsible for SUSE training and certification for our customers.
Exactly.
So we definitely have to get some of the great SUSE material in there. Maybe we can do something with the e-learning or something like that. But we definitely must make it I would say, a green tinted event there.
I concur 100%.
Great. All right. Well, that's really cool. A really great, event as it sounds. And is it because I'm really curious here? Here we are still not able to travel much, or prefer not. Are you sure that you will be able to travel from the United States to Ethiopia by the end of May?
Yes, right now the requirements are only a negative COVID test to get off the airplane in Ethiopia, or
Okay.
to get on the airplane to go, and then of course when you get off, to revalidate that you're COVID negative.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing that, of course, but that's the only requirement at the moment.
Wow.
And I don't expect that to change between now and the end of May.
No.
When I get there.
Okay. So a little bit of fingers crossed maybe on that area then.
What's that?
Maybe a little bit of fingers crossed then regarding that aspect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nothing major changes. Like last year, I was actually invited to join the Living Open Source Foundation in their Rwanda session, but then that got canceled right at the beginning of when it was going to be hosted. So this will be my opportunity now to take it to Ethiopia, where I wanted to go. They had planned to do an Ethiopia event this past August, of course, but everything was shut down at that point.
And if you are teaching SUSE, didn't you apply for the technical trainer position we had in SUSE for North America?
I did not. But I was willing to do, obviously willing to train. Education is one of my passions.
Yeah, I know. So maybe we should talk about this a little bit offline as well. But I'm thinking out loud here, and that would be really cool as well. Wow. Hey, okay. And to close it off, we're going back to the beginning, because that is your music choice. And it was completely new to me. I did not know the band. And well, if you don't know the band, the song neither, of course. But can you tell me why you picked Skillet and then the number Fire and Fury?
Well, Skillet is one of my favorite Christian rock artists. I mean, they are able to take, amazing music and then turn it into a way to worship God. And the Fire and Fury is actually a love song, if you listen. And which then it's perfect for today, being Good Friday,
Yeah.
It's all about the love of God on Good Friday. So I thought that was a perfect fit for today.
It is.
And it also then relates, you can also, it's a love song. You can also then, apply it to your family.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to love one another. And it also then ties back into my three main passions of education, helping others, and promoting SUSE, because all those things I love to do.
Wow.
And so it was just kind of a fun, three-way tie-in to the song.
Yeah.
Fire and Fury.
Okay, well then we will listen to it some more at the end of this Ketchup, and I want to close up with thanking you very much for your time, Patrick. Look forward to meet you in person one day again somewhere on this globe.
Yes, definitely. Maybe. Do you recognize this shirt?
I do. That was the one that I was wearing in Washington. Isn't it?
No, in Nashville.
Oh, Nashville. That was in Nashville. Yeah, I have quite a few of those in my wardrobe now. But that was the Nashville one, yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, so let's hope that the next SUSECon, by the way, people, the registration is open. So if you look at susecon.com, you can register there. But it will be, or not but, it will be an online event. So very easy to approach, very easy to go there. But nevertheless...
And I have a session as well.
Oh, really?
Digital, yes.
Oh, tell us about it.
Doing an IoT session on bringing IoT data, metric data into Prometheus and Grafana.
Oh.
So just a fun little project.
Cool.
Tutorial on how to do that with using SUSE Linux Enterprise.
Sounds like a hackweekable project.
It was kind of, yeah.
Ah, cool. Well, cool.
Project.
All right. So check susecon.com for the talk of Patrick Schwartz. And thank you very much for your time. Have a good Friday, a good Easter, and see you next week. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Let's listen to Skillet, Fire and Fury.
Fire and Fury. Yeah.
If I freeze, you are